Bitch, oh, we got bulletproof glass now. Bitch, I turned up, I feel like I want a Grammy. I'm speaking Guapanese, I know he cannot understand me.
Hey yo, it's your boy Atomic coming to you with another Bullet Echo video, and today we're finally going to be covering the Bullet Echo hero tier list for this game. Now keep in mind a few things. First of all, tier lists are all based on personal experiences and what each player as individuals feel like are the better and worst heroes in the game. So we're gonna agree on a lot of these heroes, but there are going to be some heroes that we do disagree on as well. Some of these heroes that I've placed in these tiers, I feel like I could have easily moved them up or down, even, you know, a couple of tiers, some of them. But also in the comment section down below, please let me know who you think are the best and worst heroes in the game, and if you disagree with me on a specific hero, tell me why. I think this comment section will serve as a great purpose for all of us to learn and get better at the game. We might be able to find some heroes that we think are better, or find some heroes who we thought were good, but they're not as good as we thought they were initially. So do have these debates in the comment section. I could be wrong. I know there are a lot of you guys that played the early Bullet Echo beta, where I didn't start playing the game until like a month and a half ago, but I feel like I do have a lot of knowledge in the game. I feel like I've covered every single one of these heroes in videos. I've played with them. I know their strengths and weaknesses, so I feel like this tier list is actually a solid one. So as you guys can see here on the screen, we've got S tier, A, B, C, and D, and in my opinion, I don't think any of these heroes in the game are so bad to the point where they're unusable per se, but there are definitely some heroes that have more versatility and more usability with their skills that places them above other heroes in the game. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and start placing some of these heroes here in the tiers. I'm gonna go ahead and start off here with Arnie. 100% Arnie is a D tier hero. I just don't, you know, in this current meta, like this is based on the meta that we're playing in right now, right? This meta is very tank based. A lot of people are running around with these high health, high armor tanks that can heal themselves with the battle kit to get even more health and armor. So you've got to be able to do a lot of damage to these heroes quickly and efficiently. And I just feel like shotgun heroes in this meta are the absolute worst ones that you can be playing in the game right now. Arnie does have a decent blink ability where he can hop across the map and land on top of his opponents, but I don't think that's good enough, right? I think that there's a lot of the times you're going to get caught lacking. This is a game where you can only see people based on vision, and if they see you first as an Arnie, there's almost nothing you can do about it. You just pretty much die. Every now and then, yes, you can hit a lot of high damage shots. He's fun to use. I just don't think he's anywhere higher than D tier in this specific game. Here we've got Blot. Blot is one of the more fun heroes to play, I agree with as well, but I will be putting Blot in the C tier. Once again, high tank, or what do you call it, high health meta with all these tanks running around. Blot does have a very good sniper. It does a lot of damage. He even has a shield, which is nice, which is why you would think, like, I mean, without his shield, I'm putting him in D tier, but you would think with the shield, right, he's got to be a higher tier, but no. A lot of the times in this game, you're going to round the corner, he's going to have his sniper out, and if you miss your first shot with the sniper, and even if you hit it, if you don't kill them in one shot, you're pretty much going to lose out in every single fight that you get into. I do believe his shield does place him in the C tier though. Really, really good force field, but I just feel like he doesn't do enough as a sniper in this game. The Doc is one of the heroes where I feel like I was sort of up and down. At one point I had him in B tier, and then I had him in, I think it was between B and C tier. This one, I think some people are gonna disagree with me on this one. He's either B or C, but I just feel like personally I'm putting him in C tier. So super sorry if the Doc is one of your favorite heroes in the game. I feel like he does do a decent amount. You know, he's got a really good AR. Now I'm gonna put him in B. I think I'm gonna put him in B because he has a good AR. He's got good range, right? He's got a lot of ammo in his AR as well, and he's got a grenade launcher for even more range. He doesn't have to reload that much. I think the Doc, I don't know. I think the Doc belongs in B. I can't do it to him and put him in the C tier along with Blot. I think I've got to go with B here on this specific hero. Let's see, who do we want to pull out next? Let's do one of these higher tier heroes, right? I think the Slayer belongs in A tier. Slayer is filthy. He's one of the best heroes in the game, hands down. He's got the thermal vision, which allows him to do even more damage with his sniper. His sniper has the highest damage of any single gun in the game. It's like over 1500 damage, so you can one-shot a lot of these smaller shotgun, SMG, and even AR heroes. The only hero we pretty much can't one-shot are these bigger tanks, but even for them, they get 2 shots. So if you're behind a wall and towards the end game, you're able to use the Slayer and just pop the ability, you can kill these enemies without them having any idea where you're at, and you're shooting them from a safe distance as well. The only reason why I wouldn't put him in the S tier is because I feel like S tier are heroes that pretty much have almost no weakness, or if they do have a weakness, it's a very small one. But at the end of the day, with Slayer, you know, this is a battle royale, right? If you round the corner and you run into another enemy and you miss your first sniper shot, you're going to lose. And if it's a tank, even if you hit your first sniper shot, you're still going to lose that fight because he has no agility, he has no movement, and you're just sort of caught there lacking. But if you play the corners of the map pretty well, you can usually avoid this from happening. He does have a very good secondary as well with his pistol, and I do believe that he does deserve A tier in this game. So now we're going to pull out an S tier hero in the game, and this one I think is not going to come into a surprise to many of you guys. Ghost is one of the best heroes in the game at the moment. He just has so many good abilities. Anybody that has Invis, right? I'm just going to go ahead and pull both Ghost and Stalker out of my... Where's Stalker at? Ghost and Stalker, man. The invisibility, in my opinion, is the strongest ability in the game. First, we're going to talk about Ghost. He is one of the smaller heroes in the game, so he can fit through the tiny cracks on the map. He's got a really high damaging SMG rifle, or submachine gun, which does so much damage. And the fact that you can just go invisible, right? The cooldown for invisibility is very quick in this game. So pretty much what you want to do with these heroes is just go invisible, sprint around the map and try to find someone, pop up on their, you know, on the side where they can't see you. You can even like hold the right hand and pop up where they can't see you, and you're always going to get the kill. Even if it's a tank, I feel like with tanks, you got to be more careful, right? It's got to take a little bit more agility. You want to pop out. You don't necessarily want a 50-50. You can 50-50 all these other smaller heroes in the game. Take them down pretty quickly. But with tanks, you want to hold the right hand and pop up behind them. A lot of the times, you'll be able to kill them in 1 to 2 clips, depending on how damaged they are, even if they're full health. I feel like Stalker, the reason why I like Stalker just a little bit more than Ghost sometimes is because he does have more ammo per clip, and because it's a tank meta, having more ammo does more for you overall. But Ghost does just the same. They're really good. Ghost does have his Bloodsucker, and he also has the Stim Shot, which allows him to get out of fights quickly. In case he does take damage, he can move away fast. He can finesse his way through cracks. So a lot of people, you know, the debate is Ghost versus Stalker, who's the better hero. I'm definitely going to make a video covering that. But for Stalker, I feel like it's sort of the same, right? He's got the Invis. You can pop out, use the invisibility, and surprise your opponents. He's got the AR, which has more range and does more damage. Or, I'm sorry, it's got more range and has more ammo per clip, which allows you to sustain yourself longer in these fights, which is really good. On top of killing an enemy, you can reload your gun immediately. I think it's like a 90% reload, or a quicker reload. Pop the reload, you're chilling, good to go, ready to get into another fight. Pop the invisibility. Again, I just think anybody that has Invis in this game is an S tier hero. Now let's go ahead and see if we can find somebody else. So Hurricane is one of the fun heroes to play in this game. I actually almost threw him in C, but I realized his shield mechanic is very strong as well. So the thing with Hurricane is he has a shotgun. I think he is going to probably be one of the higher tier placing shotguns on this tier list. Shotgun meta is kind of dead, but his shotgun almost acts like an SMG. It's a high fire rate, semi-auto shotty, and he's got this amazing shield mechanic which allows him to block bullets whenever he gets into a fight. So the reason why that's really good is no matter who you're going up against, I don't care what hero in the game, if he pops his shield, I almost said I don't care what hero besides tanks, bro, but if he pops his shield and he goes against you in a head-to-head, he's going to kill you because you're not going to be able to do any damage through his shield. He's going to hammer away with his semi-auto shotty, which has, I think, 18 bullets per clip. It can go even higher if you find extended clips. And he's just overall a very strong hero in the game. He has passive armor during fights whenever he does damage to his enemy heroes. He'll gain armor. He'll get passive armor damage to enemies during fights as well, which loses their armor during the fight. So overall, I think Hurricane does belong in the B tier. He's a very good hero, but that shotgun prevents him from being one of the higher tier heroes in the game, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and pull out probably my favorite hero to play in the game right now, Firefly. Firefly is A tier. You know, I used to say in some of my videos it was sniper and shotties that were like the worst heroes in the game, but I stand by corrected as I started to play the game more. Firefly Sniper is not as strong as Slayer's, right? The whole thing with Slayer, one of his weaknesses was the fact that he could walk around the corner and get destroyed. Firefly has a high damaging semi-auto rifle, lots of ammo per clip, lots of range, very, very small fire spread, which allows for very few missed shots to actually go down. Whenever he takes damage in a fight, his gun actually shoots faster. So doing damage to Firefly in a way puts yourself at a disadvantage because now his semi-auto is firing really quickly and it does a lot of damage, right? So maybe it's not 1500 damage like the Slayer, but it still does 450 damage per shot. So he can two-shot most of these smaller heroes in the game, 2 to 3 shots, and even like 4 to 5 shots, some of the bigger heroes in the game. On top of that, he has the grenade spam, which is annoying, and I feel like grenade paired with the semi-auto sniper almost made me place him in S tier, but I had to be careful because, you know, you got to realize I think invisibility is just a level higher than every other ability period in this game. So I had to put him in A tier. Both him and Slayer are very, very, very good heroes though. So keep that in mind. Both of them usually don't have a lot of weaknesses. His passive as well does damage to enemies whenever you shoot at them. So they're burning up. You've got a lot of range. You can zone off enemies with the grenade spam. Very, very good hero. Highly recommend. I think on top of every hero in the game, he's my most favorite. The hero that I have a lot of fun playing with. Let's pull out a C tier hero right here. We're going to pull out the big Bertha. I think Bertha's a lot of fun to play. She's got one of the cooler abilities in the game, which is, you know, you guys have seen her, right? She's got the LMG. Whenever you pop the ability, she can literally see all the way across the map almost and just deal a lot of damage. As cool of an ability as it is, I think it is more it's a lot better in 3v3s and in 5v5s, playing with a team. Not as good in solos or King of the Hill. And I think outside of that ability, she doesn't really do too much. So I think that does place her in the C tier. She can't shoot over walls though whenever you pop the ability. So even if enemies, like you see an enemy, you pop it. The ability also does increase your damage. So if you pop it, you're doing a lot of damage to them. They try to run away and they round a corner. You can just spray over the wall and still take them out as well. What do you call it? She has battle kit. That's always makes tanks strong. They got the battle kit that can heal up health and armor. I just feel like her gun takes too long to do anything, right? When you're moving around with Bertha, you can't even move slowly. As soon as you start moving, period, with Bertha, the range of her gun shortens a lot, and it takes time for it to elongate out. When it's aimed in and you're camping around the corner, Bertha is very strong, but you have to move in this map, right? You got to move a lot. And if somebody flanks you and you start turning, you're always going to be small fire range. By the time you finally look at them and wait for your gun to stretch back out, I just feel like she is a C tier hero. I can see people arguing for her to be B tier, but I personally don't see it. We're going to pull out who I think is the other D class hero in the game, which I feel bad doing this considering he does have the scan ability, but I don't see Cyclops. You know, once again, shotties, man. Shotties are not good in this current meta. There's just so many other better weapons, so many other better abilities. Cyclops is really fun to play. He does have the scan, but on top of that, it's just like, what are we doing? I could see him arguing up to C tier because of his ability to see his enemies across the map and run and chase up to them. And also when he does damage with his gun, it reduces the vision and firing range to the enemies, which means that they can't shoot you from a longer distance anymore, but it's still longer than your shotgun shot. I just don't see Cyclops being any higher than D tier in this game. I think he's my only other D tier hero. Sparkle, I will place in C tier for her grenade spam. Grenades in general in this game are very, very strong. You just chuck them, zone them out like we talked about earlier. She's got a high damage. She's got the better, I think she's got the best shotgun as far as the gun itself goes. In this game, it does a lot of damage, but you sort of have to play around her secondary weapon because even with that high damaging shotgun, you can't take down these tanks during this tank meta. So what you want to do with her is carry small ammo, so when you boom, boom, do damage, you use your pistol to finish them off. But, you know, trying to rely on all those situational events places her in C tier, even with the amazing grenade ability. Leviathan, I think, goes up to B tier. I don't think he's good enough to be an A tier hero. But Leviathan is very fun to play as well. He's got a lot of health, a lot of armor. Once again, with tanks, we already know they've got the battle kit, which is very good for them to heal up during fights. He has a cool ability, you know, with the turret. The turret can almost act as a shield as well, and it shoots out and does damage. I just don't think that puts him at A tier, though. It is a very good ability. You can hide behind it. You can zone people out, force them to go a different way. Or if they come that way, you hide behind the turret, which is not only acting as a shield, it's acting as an offensive shield, shooting them, doing a lot of damage as well. So he definitely deserves B tier. He's got 200 ammo in his gun. His gun shoots and shoots and shoots. Even after the person walks out of your fire rate, the bullets will continue to shoot and do damage to them. So you just want to continue to follow them, even if they get out of your fire range. But 200 damage, or 200 ammo, but the gun doesn't do that much damage either. So if you end up in a 50-50 situation, even though you have the health advantage, pretty much every other gun in the game is going to damage you out. He doesn't have a lot of finesse either. So if you get caught out in the open, there's not much you can do to rotate away. I don't think that places him in C, though. I think he definitely deserves to be B tier with the fact that he has Battle Kit, you know, and all those other really good abilities. We're starting to come down here a little bit. We got Freddy, man. I almost put him in C, but I can't disrespect Freddy. I think he's another B tier hero. He's got the grenade spam. You know, if that's enough to put Sparkle in C, that's got to be enough to put Freddy in B. He's got the stim ability, able to get away from fights really quickly and finesse through the smaller cracks on the map. He's got good movement speed in general. He's one of the faster heroes in the game. His gun has a very fast fire rate, good damage, and he's got good fire spread as well. In order of weapons that I think that are important, I think that shotguns are the least important, or the worst in this specific meta. And then you can almost argue, you know, based on the heroes that are actually in the game, you would almost be able to argue that SMG is the second worst weapon to use right now. They do a lot of damage. You know, obviously not everybody's going to have their heroes just max. You can't just max out every single hero in the game. Even me, who spent a little bit on this game, cannot max out every hero because you don't run into batteries that often. So for the average player, these SMG guys are going to have, you know, little ammo in their weapons. He does have more ammo than some of the other SMG heroes in the game, but just going up against tanks, you know, that when the game ends, it's a small circle, right? So a lot of the time it's going to end as a 50-50. So SMG heroes in a 50-50, just not, you know, not S class, definitely not A class. But nonetheless, Freddy's a solid hero. There's not much as far as finesse goes on defense, but he's got a lot of offensive opportunities, and I think that he does deserve the B tier here. Moving on to the next hero, let's look at Levi. Levi's ability was enough for me to put her in S class. I had to do it because Levi is so strong, right? She might have like, the fact that I can put her in S tier when she doesn't have invis is nuts, right? Let's talk about Levi. High damage AR. I think it's the highest damaging AR in the game, period, right? High range, too. She's got a lot of range on the AR, a lot of damage, and you pair that with thermal. She has the ability to shoot enemies through the wall, which increases the piercing power of her assault rifle. There is no way that Levi isn't S tier. She's got all that. She has reduced enemy fire rate on hitting an enemy, increased aim fire range on hitting an enemy, so if they try to run away, she can still track them down. And if you have thermal pop, you can still track them down through walls anyways. Like, she stuns the enemy's movement and reduces their vision by 99% on a kill. So she's hard to third party. If she gets into a fight and you're around her, or it's the end of the game, there's 3 guys left, and she kills one of them, you can't see, you can't shoot, you can't move. Quick aim time as well. Like, overall, Levi is one of the strongest heroes in the game, and she's so much fun to play. And towards the end of the game, like I said, you pop that thermal vision, they can't see you. There's almost nothing they can do about it. Every hero in this game can be countered by some other hero, and they can lose out in other situations. But Levi has very, 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 very few situations where she will actually get outgunned and lose in this game. And she is just overall amazing. Let's go ahead and have a look at... Let's do... Dragoon. I think Dragoon goes B. I think a lot of these heroes go B. Just because they're good. You know, like, he's a solid hero. Actually, let's talk a little bit about Dragoon, right? He's got the blink, he's got the LMG, he's got the battle kit. So the reason why blink is awesome, right? When you're a tank, you can almost confidently take any fight head to head because you're just like, you're not gonna out damage me, right? So you blink onto your enemies, you do a lot of damage by landing next to them, and if you have more health and his LMG is very, very strong as well. It's got faster reload time. So if you just land on them and you start hammering down the 50-50, you're most of the time going to win out on those exchanges. He's got good mobility as far as speed goes, but he doesn't have anything that sets him apart to put him into those higher A tier, S tier heroes. He's just a very solid hero, very good all around, and that's the reason why I placed him here in the B tier. We're gonna pull out another A tier hero. It's kind of crazy to me actually, but my boy Satoshi I think deserves A. He's got that force field just like Block, but he actually has a weapon that can do something with it. His AR does a lot of damage as well. Like a lot. I'm talking about a lot. He melts some of these heroes faster in the game than almost any other hero. He does so much damage, and pairing that up with the force field, whenever you throw it down, you actually get more range with your AR as well, making him a huge threat at end game. Whenever you just throw down the shield, hide behind it, and wait for your opponent to pull up. If they don't have anything to counter that shield, you're always going to kill them. Even if you're in the middle of a fight during a game, you can throw down that shield. You can also use it to slow them down, right? They can sort of walk over it if they force their way through it, but it takes a long time. By the time they get up to you, you're going to kill them. He's a very straightforward hero, though. He gains armor passively, and he gains armor upon killing enemies, so he's one of the guys that are harder to kill in the game. And he's simple, straightforward, but strong. Strong ability. I think he deserves A tier. Let's have a look at Smog. I'm throwing Smog in B tier. He's along the same lines as like Dragoon. Tanks in general, I think, and I'm surprised I even have Bertha SC, but tanks in general are usually always going to be B tier or higher, especially in this current meta. Smog has a grenade launcher. You guys saw me play him. Like he can win fights. He's another straightforward hero. It's just a lot of health, grenade launcher at longer distances. All right, keep picking your opponent down, doing a lot of damage, and then you finish them off up close with your SMG or with your LMG, you know, and the battle kit to get more health. It's just overall, Smog, solid hero. Solid, but not enough versatility or ability power to put him in the A or S tier. Here we've got Angel. At one point in time, I would put her in A. At one point, but I think after the nerf, she felt it too hard, and there's just something about her, you know. I don't know. It's tough for me. It really is. Her shield mechanic is so good, right? It's so good, and she's small. I don't think I can disrespect her. I had her coming into this video. I was planning on putting her at B tier, but I don't think I can put her at B tier. She has the portable shield, right? She has a really good damaging SMG. The only issue with SMG is it has small ammo. Small clips, right? And in the tank meta, that can be very, very costly. But she can finesse through the map, through the small areas, right? I don't know. That's one that I can debate with. I think for this video's sake, like if I'm going into a game, oh man, I think I put her at A tier. I think by the time you max her out, you get more ammo per clip. You're able to use those small cracks, start the fight with a clip, right? You do a lot of damage, catch them by surprise, back off, finesse through the crack, pop the shield, re-engage. Is she A tier though? I think she's A tier. I think she's A tier. I like in the same, the heroes that are in the same class as her would be like the Freddy, and I think I'm taking her over Freddy. So I think I'm going to put her for A tier in this video. Once again, debatable. She's one that can go A or B. I don't think she's C or D. She can go A or B. If they didn't nerf her, she would even be A, and you could almost debate S. But I think she's going A there. We've got, okay, all these three heroes, I didn't realize. We got a lot of really good heroes left. We got Raven, also in the same-ish class. I'm putting him in the A tier. He's a very good hero. He has the scan ability, which allows you to see where your enemies are. Contrary to Cyclops, even though you can see where they're at, you have a shotgun, a very weak weapon. Raven has a very, very, very good SMG that can do a lot of damage and has more ammo per clip than some of the other SMGs in the game. You do more damage to any of these enemies that are revealed on the map, so being able to see where they're at, run around, catch them by surprise, and do more damage to them is just very, very good. He's one of the smaller heroes in the game as well. He can fit through the tiny cracks and finesse. He's got the stim shot that allows him to move very quickly. And he gets more range on hitting enemies, so they have a harder time of running away. Even though he has an SMG, he's got the more range to track them down. I think that puts him in the A tier for sure. Mirage, another A tier hero. She is, some people would probably even try to argue her with S. I just don't think that her end game finishing allows her to be that S tier hero, in my opinion. But she's another one that I have a lot of fun playing with. Probably top 3, top 4 hero. Her gun, semi-auto sniper, very similar to Levi in the sense that it just does a lot of damage. You can pick them off. It's got so much range, and it can shoot really quickly, putting her up here in the A tier. Breakaway is her ability. It's good early game. It's good mid game. It's okay late game, depending on how small the circle gets. But after a certain point in the match, the breakaway won't allow you to do much. I can't put her in S tier for it. But the reason why it's good is if you run into a fight, you can back off and create that distance. That's what allows Mirage to be so good. Create the distance. You have the long range gun, and you can always keep them at distance. She's a fast hero as well. And I can't remember if I already mentioned the fact that her gun has no movement penalty. The fact that you can run around on the map, and no matter how fast you move, no matter how fast you turn, you don't get any penalty for that. You can just sit there and beam down heroes, is absolutely insane. That has to put her up there at A tier. Such a good hero. And finally, the most broken hero in the entire game. This is going to come as no surprise to most of you guys. Bastion is the best hero in Bullet Echo. Period. Period. LMG. Lots of damage, lots of ammo per clip, right? Battle kit, he can heal himself for armor and health. Broken shield mechanic, endgame beast. This guy, you know how many times I got second place because of Bastion? Doesn't matter what hero you play, doesn't matter how much finesse you have, doesn't matter how much damage you can do. If you can't shoot through his shield, what are you going to do in a 50-50 against a Bastion? People would argue, no skilled hero, you know? Broken mechanic. Gains armor during the fight. Like, gains armor passively. This guy is easily the best hero in the game. He does have a couple of cons that you can work around. It's the fact that he's obviously he's an LMG hero, so he's slower. So, as good as those abilities are, you know, some of the snipers, some of these AT heroes can really outplay him, like the Firefly, the Mirage, because he can't shoot, he can't hit you from a certain range, so you can sort of back off and, you know, pick away at him. Pick away, pick away, pick away. But if we're being honest, at the higher levels of the game, a Bastion won't put himself in a position too often where he can get picked away like that, right? He'll play the corners, he'll play the edges of the map, he'll always be near a building. So he'll be able to finesse. I just feel like his end game finishing is way too good for him not to be S tier, and he's got to be the best hero in the game, you know? But in the comment section down below, let me know how you feel about where I place these specific heroes. It's going to change from meta to meta. We'll always do these hero tier list videos. I think they're a lot of fun. And you learn a lot about the heroes. Even just me talking it out, I was learning a lot, and I was, you know, debating. I was switching them up. But some of these heroes can be moved up or down a class, for sure. I think in the beginning I said a couple of classes, but just one class. I think this is a pretty solid tier list for you guys to use in this game. Either way, though, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And as always, I'll be posting these Bullet Echo videos. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see as well. I'm not too sure what I want to post moving forward now that I've covered every single hero. I'll probably do some comparison videos, some gear videos, like for tips and things like that. So I'll always continue to ask you guys what you want to see. Either way, though, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you go on and enjoy the rest of your day.